So my name is Dr. Teresa Rogers. I own the Relationship Center. We have 2 locations, one here in Canton and one up in Mayfield Village. We have 10 therapists that work for us. We collaborate often with Light After Loss and working with their survivors to kind of help them process through their loss, their grief, their trauma, and we work kind of hand in hand with Light After Loss as a way to really connect with their survivors. I met Shannon kind of through the community, just being able to find places in Stark County that are really like meeting the needs and the mental health needs of the Stark County community. And she was doing amazing work, kind of creating Light After Loss, like in that beginning stage. And I really wanted to connect with her to collaborate to really build this like trauma-informed relationship where we're able to serve the community even better. Absolutely. I think that area was kind of lacking. Like we had crisis teams and things like that, but they would meet the survivor just right after the loss. And what we were missing in this community is really what was happening days, months, years after, and that was definitely a gap. And us as a community were really feeling it. Us as a practice, we're noticing it with our clients as well, is that they weren't able to kind of get that support outside of the counseling session to really meet their needs. It's amazing. I am so thrilled to be able to refer my clients and kind of everyone that comes to the Relationship Center to a place that is safe. It's trauma informed. We are looking at the whole body, the whole human. It's not just like cognitive focus. They have that emotion, like yoga, drumming, all of this mind-body stuff that is amazing. It is led by volunteers and teachers that are also trauma informed and really understand the need and the way to get this mind-body connection going to really move through the trauma and the grief. So being able to trust where I can send my clients, who I care very dearly for, is such a great resource for the community. I actually was a business major and was gonna go make money. And then I had an amazing psychology professor at Walsh, and that totally changed my trajectory into being able to how to help others, how to connect with others, how to make small individual changes in this world. And then building the private practice really was to make like that kind of bigger impact on the world and kind of creating change. And that's why connecting with Light After Loss has been great, because that collaboration also allows us to reach like a greater population and to be able to really like help our community that we're in.
My name is Christine Donato. I am the board president for Light After Loss. I've been with Light After Loss, I think, since it started. I met Shannon about 5 years ago when my husband and I lost our son to suicide. We sat on the Suicide Prevention Coalition together. A couple of months after that, she asked me to be part, if I would be interested in being part of Light After Loss, and that was a huge yes to that question, and we've been together ever since. So I am also a certified QPR instructor. It is question, persuade, refer. It's to mimic CPR, if you will. That is training that anyone can learn and anyone can do. Basically, when you're performing CPR, you are that lifeline until real help gets there. QPR is the same way. When someone is struggling mentally or having a crisis, QPR gives you the tools to approach that person, ask them the question, hey, are you thinking of hurting yourself? How can I help? Then you persuade them to live. You make a connection with that person, and then you're referring them to help. Anyone can do it, and really everyone should know it. So many times when someone is struggling, crisis mentally, we tend to run away from them. We're not running towards them, we're afraid. We shouldn't be afraid. We need to run to them and help them, much like we would if someone is clenching their chest with CPR. We run to them. Even if we don't know CPR, we're trying something. We need to be that same way with someone struggling mentally. Part of Light After Loss is breaking down that stigma, right, for suicide. Suicide is a bad word. It is a bad word, but we need to break that stigma and talk about suicide and talk about us survivors, lost, left behind. And if we did that, I think there would be many more survivors. But going back to QPR, people aren't signing up for suicide classes. We need to get the message out. I work at a large hospital, and I am going to be doing QPR for all of the employees there. I'm going to be training everybody, which I'm very, very excited about. There's many of us certified in the county, so anybody that's interested in QPR, we do give those sessions free, and they're valuable. It's an hour of your time. Light After Loss for survivors, for me, I'll speak for me, it gives me an outlet to help others, and that helps heal me. You live with suicide. When you lose someone, you live with that for the rest of your life. It is a life sentence, but when I am here and when I'm doing things like this, or I'm training QPR, or I'm counseling someone, I'm mentoring someone that's recently lost a loved one traumatically, it makes it a little easier to move forward. It makes it a little less sharp. It really helps heal me as well as that person. And it gives me that outlet to be able to do that for myself and for anybody that has lost somebody to suicide. I don't know what I would do without Light After Loss, and many of our survivors feel that same way. It's definitely fills a gap in our society. When we lost our son, there weren't people coming to my house with casseroles. People avoided me. They didn't know what to say. It's such a taboo. But here, we're all in that same position, that same boat, and it's sort of a family, and we fill that void for each other. This service is so valuable to our community because unfortunately, we're losing people to suicide every day. It continues. There are thousands of lost survivors every day, new survivors every day. This service it's invaluable to our community.
My name is Kelly Casey. I grew up in the area at Perry Township. I live up in North Canton now, and I'm a suicide loss survivor. I lost my brother last summer. I met Shannon when she came over to visit with my brother's wife, and she kept coming and helping her. There were so many challenges and so many unexpected things when you lose someone that's only 44 years old. And in the beginning, I was very much in business mode. I was helping with paperwork and calling people and letting people know, and not really dealing with the loss myself. When Shannon came a few times, I honestly never considered that I could get help from her. I really thought of her at first as a spouse who had lost someone, which was the situation that my brother's wife was in. But I soon came to find out that there just aren't a lot of resources for siblings, even though you've known your brother or sister your entire life. We kind of get lost in the shuffle. And there's lots of books for parents and spouses and kids, but there's just not a lot of resources for siblings. And so I reached out to Shannon because I knew that there were some support groups going on. And I've been attending for a year now, the Thursday night group, which is mostly people in their first 2 years of survivorship. And I can honestly say that that group is not just my friends, but my family now. And being there and being able to talk, just because so many people don't want to talk. They don't know how to talk about your loss, and they don't realize that they won't upset you if they talk about your loved one. So we can go there and we can share, and it doesn't matter if it's a grandma or a parent or another sibling or just a friend. In-laws and outlaws, everybody's welcome. So I found this to be a very safe place where I feel comfortable, and I look forward to coming every month and seeing my family. I've also participated in a book club that was a really great opportunity to learn some more about suicide. And also I've attended yoga here, craft classes, all kinds of things that just kind of help you work on your mindfulness and hopefully work through your grief. This place is it's such a blessing. And originally we were going to another location before they had this place. And now it's really nice to know that this is a home-like environment to come to every month and see our family.
My name is Teresa. I'm a survivor. I lost my son, Drew, in November of 2019. I came to Light After Loss. It took me about 6 months till I was ready to reach out for help. I was kind of a big self-help person, but reached a point where self-help wasn't doing it anymore. So I filled out the contact form, and I had literally wrote along the lines of, you know, it is amazing that there is this local resource of help and support, because my son was on the autism spectrum, and I was used to not having that kind of support for over 10 years, you know, so it was great to have that locally. And then the fact that that Shannon could create this wonderful organization and through her own pain and be able to do the strength of that show was just amazing to me. I needed to give back for everything that Shannon and Light After Loss and everybody that I met through, you know, all the survivors, just felt the need it was time to give back. I could see that they've been going through some growing pains, and you know, marketing and public relations and everything is my background. So I said, hey, what do you think if I'll help you out with the marketing some? And just kind of took off from there. And then eventually, you know, she made me the chair of the committee, the marketing committee. And then she says, I want you on the board. So, okay, I'm on the board. So yeah, that's kind of how that went. And I've been doing that now since almost a year, I think. Yeah. I'll tell you, I believe in Shannon's vision. And I just feel like my job is to help her achieve that vision. And that vision is, with now that we have this building, this Hope and Healing Center, as we're calling it, and not just helping suicide loss survivors, but also all traumatic loss survivors. And there's a lot of us in this community alone. And I know that we're growing by leaps and bounds, and But to get this center, get the attention that it needs and fill the need in that community is just the most important thing. There's so many people here in pain who we can help, or we hope to. And this building, you know, it needs some work. That is for sure. And we need lots of volunteers too to help make it all happen. And when it all comes together, it's just going to be this incredible thing. I just see Shannon's vision like tomorrow, you know. Thank you, Shannon and Light After Loss, for sitting with me in my darkness and shining a light of hope for healing.